What if the future of your desktop PC isn't just about faster chips, but entirely new ways of building them? A quiet revolution is brewing at Intel, and it promises to completely reshape how we think about desktop power. For years, we've watched Intel battle it out in the processor arena, consistently pushing boundaries. Now, fresh leaks from industry insiders offer us a peek behind the curtain at their next big play, the Nova Lake S desktop processors. And what we're seeing isn't just an incremental upgrade. It's a fundamental shift in how Intel is designing its silicon, potentially changing the very foundations of your next high-performance machine. At the heart of Nova Lake S is a fascinating expansion of Intel's hybrid architecture. We're hearing about 4 distinct desktop CPU models, all embracing a larger, dedicated cache module that Intel calls BLLC. Think of this BLLC cache like an incredibly vast, super-fast memory bank built directly into the processor itself. It's significantly larger than what we've seen before, meaning your CPU can access critical data much quicker without having to fetch it from the slower main system memory. Imagine your processor needing a quick snack, and this BLLC cache is like a massive pantry right next to the kitchen, instead of a small cupboard. It means fewer trips to the main grocery store, which in this case is your much slower system RAM. But here's where things get really interesting. Intel isn't just giving us bigger caches, they're also introducing dual compute module designs. We're starting with single module configurations like an 8 performance core and 12 efficiency core setup, or an 8P plus 16E variant. These are powerful on their own. However, Intel is reportedly readying 2 dual module processors that essentially mirror these configurations. So, you could see a chip that's effectively 2 8P plus 12E modules working in tandem, or even 2 8P plus 16E modules. This approach gives Intel's desktop platform incredible scaling potential, essentially doubling up the core count and, crucially, the cache capacity because each module brings its own BLLC block. This isn't just about adding more cores, it's about providing them with their own direct, high-speed data access. Now, you might be thinking, isn't that similar to what AMD does with their 3DV cache? That's a good question. But the leaks clarify that Intel is taking a different path. They aren't stacking cache vertically like AMD does. Instead, they're integrating a physically larger compute module with that 144 megabytes of cache directly onto the silicon in a more horizontal expansion. This larger footprint has a cool benefit. It can actually improve how heat spreads across the die, potentially making it easier to cool overall. However, there's a trade-off. This horizontal expansion might introduce slightly higher latency compared to those vertically stacked alternatives, which could limit some of the performance gains. So, it's a different engineering philosophy with its own set of pros and cons. This ambitious design choice, while exciting, isn't without its challenges. That larger compute module and the heavier electrical load it brings could create serious stress for motherboard vendors. We're hearing that the Nova Lake S platform may demand significantly upgraded power delivery systems. Think of it like trying to run a supercharged sports car engine on a regular sedan's fuel pump. Motherboard socket areas might need reinforced trace layouts, increased copper density, or even more robust cooling solutions just to maintain stability. These are the kinds of hurdles that often emerge as CPUs push the boundaries of power and thermal requirements. Thermal performance itself will also be a major consideration. While Intel's approach avoids some of the heat density problems associated with vertically stacked cache, that larger die area fundamentally changes how heat spreads under the integrated heat spreader. This could impact how well existing coolers perform and might even dictate specific mounting pressures or cooler designs. So where does this leave us? Nova Lake S appears to be a major architectural leap for Intel's desktop lineup, bringing significantly increased cache capacity, larger tiles, and an aggressive scaling into dual module layouts. It's a bold statement, but one that presents both incredible potential and interesting engineering challenges. What do you think? Will these design choices give Intel the definitive edge in the desktop market, or are they facing an uphill battle with these new power and thermal demands? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Join the conversation on our social channels or wherever you listen to your podcasts. Don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the world of tech.